Did you hear that Bob Iger is quietly canceling movies?
I mean, he should.
Maybe loudly.
Maybe loudly, yeah.
I don't like this thing! And here's what I'm doing with it!
I thought they were doing that anyway. Like, wasn't there supposed to be a Patty Jenkins Rogue Squadron movie? Like, that's obviously canceled. I think that might have been even loudly canceled. But there's so many things that should be canceled. They're probably not canceling enough.
You know, you got to take these things with a grain of salt, because anything that ends up in the trades tends to be in collaboration with the studios. And so these are pieces that they want out there, I think is how you have to understand them. So like if there's a big article that's like Marvel is retooling, you know, or whatever, it's somebody commissioned that article, you know. They want to say that they canceled projects, but they don't want to say that they canceled projects. So they kind of figure out a way to collude with journalists to make these things announced.
Because these journalists want access to Disney, so they're just going to do whatever they give them. And
it's all pretty corrupt stuff. Good shit. Disney CEO Bob Iger is pursuing a major overhaul of the company's film output in the midst of something of a strike-induced box office drought. And after a challenging year for Disney's film slate, the executive said Tuesday that we're doing a lot to turn around Disney's feature film business, which hit on hard times that needs addressing. Iger, speaking at a conference hosted by Morgan Stanley in San Francisco on Tuesday, was pressed about what he is doing to turn the film business around. Here's his big quote. "You have to kill things you no longer believe in. And that's not easy in this business, because either you've gotten started, you have some sunk costs, or it's a relationship with either your employees or with the creative community," Iger said. "It's not an easy thing, but you got to make those tough calls. We've actually made those tough calls. We've not been that public about it, but we've killed a few projects already that we just didn't feel were strong enough." Iger added that he has been spending a lot of time with the creators, watching these films, giving detailed notes in these films, engaging in a respectful process that results in improvement. Isn't that funny that it's still like the what they want to put out there is that he's still treating the whole thing gently and respectfully, like after like a year full of fucking bombs.
Nobody would be mad if he just indiscriminately just started firing everybody.
It's all over, Chapek.
Excuse me?
Pack your stuff and get out by the end of the day. I can see why you don't like it.
It would be the ethical thing to do, right? Like
it would be like, of course.
Yeah.
Well, was like the only thing that made money was like Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever.
Yeah, a good movie, right? There was another article kind of like this. That it was, I think the headline was something like Marvel's not giving up, or Kevin Feige's not giving up. They keep saying we're going to go all in on like more well-known properties, or you know, and everybody keeps interpreting that to mean Wolverine and Deadpool.
Every month I hear Bob Iger say something like, we're going to focus on quality over quantity. And I don't know. I mean, I think that is what you should be doing.
You can read between the lines there a little bit, like, you know, like, oh, you know, it's tough to cancel a project because it's going to hurt employees' feelings, or it's maybe even like your relationship with the creative community. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, oh no, not the creative community. Let's just give the audience things they hate to appease the creative community. What the hell is the creative community? What is that?
I don't know. Is it they're like,
what the fuck is that? What is that? Like a coalition of creatives?
I don't know. They don't want them bitching on Twitter. I don't know.
Like, go easy on us, creative community. You guys are real creative.
I know you all have Twitter accounts. Please. Go easy on us.
We're making really tough calls. We're taking projects that just don't fucking work, that we don't want to spend any more money on, and we're cutting them down to an hour and 45 minutes, and we'll be
we're making very underwhelming Disney Plus series that we're just going to dump there on one day and hope you forget.
Bob Iger says that they're quietly releasing films into theaters. Here. It fucking suck. But you think like a series of box office failures is, you know, could spell doom. But the truth is the profitability is through the roof on that thing. Like it's basically a passive $8 billion. I think it's $8 billion a year that they just take right away from Disney Plus. And then I looked into it after going to the park and seeing just how much money was changing hands on a daily basis. And it was like the total income was $64 billion from the parks. and the profit was $8 billion, which I also found fascinating, where I was like, wow, like the overhead on those parks is crazy. Nevertheless, they've got billions of dollars to just kind of come in no matter what. And so the question is, if you lose 200 mil here, 200 mil there, like that sounds disastrous. Like our movie lost $200 million, which in reality, none of them did. Because like I think even the Marvels passed $100 million, right? So if that's 270, they lost 170. You know, that's a box office disaster. But if they have healthy finances otherwise, you can even do a whole year of that, and it's not that big of a deal. It's probably more like, hey, all of our brands are not going to endure the way our past brands have. I think that the box office failures is more of a predictor of like their 10-year success than it is like this year or next year, or, you know, because certainly the attendance in the parks isn't going down. Certainly the Disney Plus subscriptions are through the roof, even if they've peaked. And that's the danger, is like, you know, it's like Amazon or anything. It's like you're just too successful, and it probably makes you less responsive to the audience at a certain point.
I think Deadpool will do amazingly well. People want to see that. People want to see Wolverine again, Hugh Jackman. Because it's memeable too, because people like post jokes about their bromance, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman's bromance. So there's like a community aspect to it.
Yeah, there's publicity, there's heat. As you've put it, there's heat. You know, I remember when stuff came out in the past, and you were like, I'm not seeing any memes about this. Like that seems to be how you measure, like, is this thing penetrating the culture? Is like, is there any, you know, are there any memes about this movie or show right now?
It's like, yeah, Barbenheimer, and right now Dune is going nuts with memes. People need to be excited about this and need to be talking about it.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.